Hello everyone, and welcome to Desynced. Well, this is another new game for this particular channel, and well, as you might be able to tell, this is a factory building game, but what sets it apart from the other titles is basically that we are not going to use belts to move things around. Instead, we will use drones and robots and that kind of stuff. Also, another thing that makes it different from the other games in the genre is that instead of having distinct buildings with distinct functions, here we will only really build platforms, and we will fill those platforms out with different kinds of modules, and those modules will determine what the actual building will be able to do. So yeah. Also, there's one more thing. There is a programming language in the game that we can use to automate and fine-tune the behavior of certain things, and I think it is a very powerful system, but it can be a little bit hard to get into, and also the tutorial is not really good at explaining it, so I have been watching videos to get a hang of it. I think I have a basic grasp, but I suppose we will be able to tell once we actually get into the game. Anyways, the seed will be completely random, that's fine. And the difficulty, I will leave everything on default, but I will set the resource richness to high. I would like this to be, well, basically, it's a little bit too easy to deplete our resources. If we set it to high, it's going to be, it will give us a little bit more room to work with, I suppose. Also, in case you're wondering, the peaceful mode, basically the combat is, I set it to hostile. It just means that the enemies will attack us if we get too close, but they will not seek us out actively, so we will not be required to build any kind of defenses in the base. I think we can manage just setting up a production factory. So anyways, let's go with this particular seed and let's get into it. And there we go. Okay, I will not really allow the AI to talk too much because she has a lot of things to say and we have a lot of things to get into, so if you want to read what she has to say, just pause the game and knock yourselves out, but I think I will be okay if we, there we go, if we just dismiss those messages. Anyways, this place is actually a pretty good, well, place to settle down. We have crystals, we have metals, oh, and we have some silica, but these power flowers are not great. I think we can maneuver around them. Okay, well, this is a pretty great start, if I'm completely honest. Okay, this laterite ore is not a great placement, but maybe we can settle maybe here. It looks a nice big open area. Yeah, I think so. All right, let's move here and deploy the base. I would like it to be, I suppose, here. Right. Also, don't worry about elevation. It is completely just cosmetic, basically. Maybe not on the ramps leading up to the plateaus, but in the general play area, elevation is completely cosmetic. Anyways, now we have the main base. We also got a couple of runner bots. These are basically just small delivery bots with a single space of storage. They are the most basic logistics that we have at our disposal, basically. Also, we have, well, might as well move these guys out into an open area. So, also I will move the fabricator into the main building. And I will deploy this deployer, I suppose, yeah, here. Okay, and I will equip the small advanced turret on the scout. Yeah, okay. So let me just go ahead and explain what we have. As I said, these small runner bots are basic logistics delivery bots. That's fine. Then we have the scout. This one is equipped with an internal scout radar. This guy can discover, well, explorables. Let me see if I can show you what it does. We just need to move out a little bit into the wild and we should be able to find, well, some explorables fairly quickly. What is the range of this, by the way? Ooh, it's very far, okay. So we should be able to find some fairly... Oh, there we go. Okay. So as this guy moves around, this radar periodically pings the area around it and it highlights these explorable buildings littered around the place. They are basically ruins and wrecks and things like that. And we can use these robots to go there, explore them, get some resources from them and things like that. You know what? Might as well show you. I will, in the meantime, let me just show you. These engineers are our starting mining robots. Now, this is where the programming language will come into play for the first time. We have these 4 buttons right here. These are what the game considers as registers. Well, there are more things in the game that could be considered registers, but they are registers for now. Basically, the signal is a general, well, a signal that the unit puts out, and this can be, I don't know, an item or a symbol or whatever you want. And the visual is what is being laid over the unit in the game world. So for example, if we tell this guy to start mining for iron or metals, there we go. As you can see, there is a green arrow running through from this slot to this slot, which means that whatever is being displayed here is being fed into the whatchamacallit, the visual register. So basically it shows you what this unit is mining. That's great. Also, we have a store register. Basically we can tell it to drop things off once it's full. Don't do it right now. And we have a go to. If it has nothing to do, it will go to that particular position, and that will be the parking position for this particular bot. Anyways, I will stop this one right now because, well, if I tell this robot to start mining, that's great, it does the job, but if I move it somewhere else, it will lose that command. And I would like it to maintain the mining command. So what we can do is set this signal and have it feed into the resource and mine amount slot on the mining tool. And we can tell this signal to infinite amounts of iron ore or metal ore. Yeah, get used to it. I will say metal and iron interchangeably in this game. It's the same thing. Anyways, now this signal is permanent, and even if we tell this guy to move somewhere, it will still maintain the mining command. That is all it has to do. And we can also tell it to consider this particular tile as its parking space right next to the ore deposit. So even if it gets lost in the logistics network somehow, once it has nothing else to do, it will park itself here and gets back to mining. I think we can do the exact same thing so on the other bot. So what I will do is, well, there is another very convenient thing in the game. It's a copy paste function. It is very similar to the one we had in Captain of Industry. Basically, if we hover over something and press C, it copied the settings and we can paste it over a robot that has the exact same loadout. So for example, the other engineer there, but I would like this guy to focus on crystals. So what we will do is set the signal to be crystals instead. And I will set it, let me see, what is the range of our logistics? Okay, I will tell it to park itself here instead. There we go. Okay, so these two robots are now mining. Great. Also, why are the signals not being displayed? Basic, there we go. Okay. Well, our scout robot have managed to reach the explorables while I was waffling on about other stuff. So what we will do is start exploring these ruins. Thank you. So these ruins have one kind of a mini game associated with them. There are, I believe, 2 mini games, but it will choose between those two at random. Let me see which one does it have. Oh, okay. Now, as you might be able to tell, this is the bog standard pipe game, and there is a very good secret to mastering this game. All you have to do is make sure that every single one of these tiles is highlighted. So basically, what we want to do is start at the, I suppose, the output square and pipe the blue signals into these black tiles like this. Now the secret is that we have to highlight every single tile, and there are no dead ends. That is not allowed. So, for example, along the edges, we know that we cannot have dead ends, and we have to highlight everything. So this corner will have to be facing this way. This T-junction will have to face this way because we cannot have dead ends. This one has to go this way. Since we cannot have dead ends, this one will have to be fed. It have to be fed from here. This one will have to be facing this way, and so on and so forth. So, with that in mind, it should be fairly easy to take care of these this particular puzzle. There. This one will have to face this way because it will have to receive the signal from there. Okay, this one will have to be like this. There. So far, so good. And done. That's all the secret is to it. Also, another thing that these ruins might require is an input of a certain item. In this case, it is a circuit board. Thankfully, we have some on board, so we can take care of this. Thank you. I will take out, let me see, what is this? This is a building that has 2 medium slots. Yeah, you know what? Let me see, I will put this one there. This one can be here. The solar panel, the circuit boards, and just about managed to store up everything. Okay, at this point, this particular explorable is completely exhausted. We can demolish it, but for that one we will need a special module, so we can't do it at this very moment. We will take care of this later. Okay, we can go home and we can start building the base. So while we were busy with the explorable, our smelting facility has been completely filled up. What I will do is first order a couple of fabricators. Let's say 4 of them. There we go. Good. And it is being made. Great. Next, we will be able to build more of these smelters by simply highlighting it, pressing C, and with V we can place down a couple more. Let's say, yeah, something like this. I did purposefully made this pattern. It will be obvious why I did this later. It will have to remain a mystery for a while, unfortunately. Anyways, there we go. So we can start making some metal bars. Next, let's make a couple more fabricators. Let's say 6 more. You know what? No. Yeah, no, let's make 4 more. And this time I will actually build a empty version of this building. Let's suppose here. So this will require some bars and a couple of crystals. And there we go, it is now being built. Then I will slot in one of these fabricators. Thankfully, it is super easy. We just need to select the building that has the items, drag and drop, and that is it. One of the machines will come, pick it up, move it where it's needed, and it is now slotted in. Great. So in this building, we will start making these metal plates. That is great. And now that we have a building with the necessary setups, we can copy it and paste it in. I suppose, yeah, might as well go for the same 6 layout. And once again, I am purposefully making this particular layout for a reason. Okay, what's next? Well, next, do we have enough? No, we don't. Okay, that's fine. I will build the 2 more that we need after, no, sorry, the 2 more that we need. There we go. After that, I will start making the assemblers, because these fabricators can only really make the exact, the very basic items, and we will need to start moving up on the complexity ladder. There and done. Okay, next I will make a couple of assemblers. Let's say 5 of them. This one will require metal plates and more crystals. That's fine. We have crystals coming in from here and metal plates from here. Okay, just for a second, can you please switch over to silica? I want to get rid of this tree. This one contains silica, and once we mine it out, it will go away, and that will free up a bit of space. After that, it can go back to making more iron ore. Please drop off the silica sand into the main building. That's going to be fine, and you can go back to mining iron ore. Alright, so we have these assemblers now. Now you might be able to tell that these fabricators have a small S in the corner. That means it is a small module. But these assemblers have an M, they are medium modules. Later on we will have larger ones as well, but for now small and medium is all we need to worry about. Well, as it happens, we cannot use medium modules on these buildings because these slots are small. What we need to do is build a medium building, which is right here. Well, you might have noticed also that I left a spacing of 3 in between. That is mostly for traffic reasons, nothing else really. And I would like to maintain that kind of spacing. I will build a, 2 of these medium buildings here and another set of medium buildings here. Right. Let's get this one done real quick. Thankfully, we can prioritize the build construction of certain things, and that will make sure that whatever resource we produce, it gets delivered there first. There we go. So this one is being built. Next slot in one of these assemblers. There we go, it is being brought over there, thank you. And we will set this place to continuously create circuit boards. Great. Once this one is built, we will do the same on this one. But these buildings will be used for something else. I will tell you once we are at that point. Unfortunately, well, we don't really have enough mining happening at the moment, so what we could also do is slot in one of these assemblers into this medium slot and make a couple of mining modules. Well, at the start, these engineers start with a laser mining tool. That is a relatively advanced version of the mining tool, but other than the ones we start with, we only have access to the basic ones, the miner. This is slower and yeah, this will have to do for the time being. So I will make 4 of these. That will be done in the assembler, and I will make 4 worker bots to put these miners onto. Right, also I didn't actually set what we need 4 of. There we go. Now, unfortunately, I didn't find a way to prioritize the construction here in the actual buildings. I only found a way to prioritize the construction of the actual platforms, but not modules and things like that. So I don't know. Set assembler, no, that's not it. Yeah. So yeah, I have not found a way to do this, unfortunately. But yeah, it's not the end of the world. Anyways, you know what? I will build some storages at these facilities. Oh, no, wait. Abort this one and this one. We will need to build something in the middle later on, so I don't want to block this place off. Anyways, we need some miners, please, because we have the robot now, but we don't have the mining tool yet, unfortunately. Okay, you know what? I will not build these. Abort construction. And in fact, I will tell this guy to first drop off the solar cell in the main building and the data cubes. Data cube, and pick up these loose resources. Unfortunately, we don't have a automatic collecting bot at the moment. Oh, there we go. We have a miner. Once again, drag and drop. So you go onto this one, and I think we should be able to copy paste because it has a similar setup in terms of modules. So copy this one and paste it over this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so it copied over everything. That's great. Okay, I will build a small temporary building for that solar panel, so we can actually make use of it. Also, this miner is finished there, and so it will paste over, inherit the settings from this guy. That's fine. What is the output of iron ore at the moment? Items. Yeah, it is getting better, but nowhere near where we need to be, unfortunately. So we need to keep working on this. Yeah, we have one more miner here. There, off you go. We could also build a couple more runner bots because I think these 2 small guys are getting a little bit overwhelmed. So yeah, the worker bots are now finished. What I will do is build 8 more runner bots. I think that's going to be okay. Anyways, yeah, we need 2. There we go. Now the last miner is being constructed, and put it on the worker bot V, and it is off to the mines. Great. Okay. Is this done yet? No, it needs 2 more metal bars. After that, I will put this solar cell on it. It only makes power during the day, of course, and we cannot really make fully utilize it until we have capacitors, unfortunately, but during the day it's going to be a little bit better for us in terms of power. Okay, well, now we have these 3 buildings here. I will place some storages in front of them, and I will slot in these assemblers onto them like this. There we go. Okay, can we please hurry up on the construction of these storages? They are a little bit necessary for this one to work. In the meantime, I will start by telling these assemblers to start infinitely churning out fabricators, then yeah, assemblers, and in this one, well, I suppose we can do miners. Yeah, sure. Good. Okay, now instead of manually making these buildings ourselves, we will have a ready supply of them right here. But we will need to tell these guys to, well, let me just show you. Making a fabricator requires iron bars and crystals. That means 2 resources. That means that 2 of these slots will have to be reserved for those resources. That leaves 2 slots for the output, and having only 2 fabricators at the ready is not going to be enough. That is why I have built these storage blocks. All we need to do is, if you remember, we have these registers, and one of them is a store register. This is basically telling this building to output its production into this particular storage facility. And we will do this for every single one of these buildings, so they will output into their respective storage blocks. And we might want to restrict the storage slots in these buildings so they can only store the actual output. So what I will do is fix all slots to an item, and that item is a fabricator. And now we can only store fabricators here. This is one way of doing it, or we can fix this slot to an item and we can basically move this item to different slots, and that will fix that slot to that particular item. But in this case, what I will do is fix all slots. That's it. Once again, fix all slots. Never mind. Unfix all slots, fix this one and move it into the empty ones. There we go. So this one is correct, this one is correct, and this one is correct. I think it's a little bit easier if we just click on the inventory, fix slots to an item, and select the item. That's a bit easier. So anyways, I don't know, I think this crystal mining bot might require a bit of help, but that will have to wait. Also, let me quickly put a assembler on this building and start making a bit more circuit boards. I think that's going to be good for us in the long run. And in the main building, I will build 2 uplinks. This is the research building research module. Now, if I remember correctly, we did pick up a packager. Yeah, there we go, exactly. And it is exactly the correct building that I was hoping for. Exactly. Okay, this one has 2 medium slots and we have 4 storage slots as well. This is perfect. I will build this one. I guess here should be okay. Let me see. Here. Yeah. Let's put it there. And we have one of these uplinks already good to go. Once this one is built, there we go. I will move this uplink to it, and this will be our research facility. No, there we go. And the second one, yeah, thank you. The second one is also built, so move that one there as well. There we go. And this will basically mean that we will have double the research speed. Now, let's start some research. I think, well, let me see, what do we need? You know what, no, let's start with basic structures, then we will do basic power, and then basic signals. Unfortunately, we can only have 3 researches queued up, so this will have to do for a little while. That's fine. Now, this research requires, okay, just plates, so that's fine, but later on we will have multiple different kinds of items, and that is where these storage slots will come into play. So later on, if we need to have 3 or 4 items for a research, we need to have all 4 or 3 or 4 of them in the building to actually start researching, so we need to have the storage space. Anyways, we are researching, that's great. So while we are waiting for the research, I suppose what I will do is drop off this behavior controller. Good, and I will take this scout bot off the logistics network. We can do this by clicking this signal button, and this will make sure that it is no longer looking for jobs in the logistics network. So it is no longer running around delivering stuff. This makes it sure that, okay, never mind. We are losing power. Okay, after basic structures, thankfully, we will start researching the power, and that is going to be necessary. I will preemptively set up a couple more mole facilities like this. Thank you. So next one is basic power. We will need this one fairly quickly now. Also the storages as usual. You know what? Yeah, we are not really having enough power at the moment. Thankfully, this one shouldn't take too long. It's only 40 crystals. And yeah, this guy is mining it. Okay, for the time being, this guy can go back to work. That's fine. Okay, in the meantime, this one got completed, so I will copy this, the setting of this building, and paste it over this one. That's super convenient, that's great, and uh-oh. We have a glitch bot right here. We really need to keep our distance from it because this guy has a virus and we really don't want to mess with that right now. Anyways, we are halfway done with the power research. How is the power in the scout bot? Not great. Yeah, as you can see, we are starting to have some power troubles. And this piddly little solar panel is not doing a good job, unfortunately. It's only 50 power. So basically 550 altogether because we have a 500 power output on the main building and that's it. But fairly soon we should be in a position where we can start. You know what? In fact, what I will do right now is the building research unlocked these buildings. They are basically the same as the ones we have built before. Thank you. But unlike the ones we have built before, these ones have 2 small slots. The trade-off is that they only have 2 storage spaces. So they are very limited use. One of those uses is power generation, for example. we can place down, yeah. Is it here? 1, 2, 3, yeah. 1, I will place down 1 for now. In the meantime, I will put in 1 medium fabricator here. Output is going to be this storage, exactly. And this facility will be giving us crystal power plants, basically. Infinitely, please, thank you. And basic signals are done, which means we can start researching. Let me see. Yeah, let's start with power, then basic robotics, and then behaviors. Or wait, behaviors and then basic robotics. Yeah. Okay, so now we are hopefully making, yeah, power plants. We already have one on the way. I will, sorry, where is it going? Oh, right, it's being taken here. Great. So this one will be slotted into this building once it is actually built. In fact, I will prioritize the construction of it. I want to have some power, please. In the meantime, we can start, continue building up our reserve of power plants, I suppose. I maybe should have left some space in between, but it's fine. Not the end of the world, I suppose. Plus, I don't think this is going to be the final mall. We will have a better one later on, I guess. But this is a good start, I guess. We need 5 more plates. And finally, the last one is incoming. Great. So, as I have said, this building will have 2 small slots, and we will put 2 of these crystal power generators into it. There we go. Here comes the robots to deliver them. There we go. Perfect. Now, the storage slots will be filled up with these crystal chunks, and they will be used to power these generators. And the output of the generators is 150. So yeah, it is a lot better than this solar generator, and these guys can actually work during the night. Now that we have this one set up, well, we copy it and paste it in. Yeah, 2 more times, I guess that should be enough. So basically 300, 600, 900, overall 1400 is going to be our power generation, for the time being at least. Anyways, things are a little bit more lively now that we have the power, and this scout robot is being charged up. I would like it to get charged so we can go out and do a bit of exploring, because, well, it would be kind of nice if we could do it. Also, we are still not mining enough. Also, this deposit will run out very, very quickly now. In case you are wondering, you can press P and that will enable the overlay of the logistics network. This deposit is more or less reachable, but, well, I think it would be better if we had a better coverage of it. We can only really reach the very edge of this deposit, so yeah, not great. I suppose this will be our first expansion of our logistics network. Anyways, yeah, we still need, oh, there we go, this one is being built, that's great. And next one is next, that's fine. Okay, in the meantime, I think this engineer is now struggling to keep up with the demand for crystals. So what I will do is, well, copy this worker robot and use it as a template for, basically we can use the less copied thing in the construction places. So we can use this copied worker bot as our template. I will build four, yeah, make 4 of them. But once they are built, they will come out as iron miners, but later I will set them to be crystal miners. So anyways, we have the miners being made here. We just need to make the actual robots. That's fine. Okay, what do we need for this one? Oh, right. We actually need to start making reinforced plates. Okay. Where should we do that? I suppose here would be ideal, but okay, you know what? What I will do is, there we go. Okay, this deposit is done. What I will do real quick is tell these mining robots to consider this as their parking space. If you hover over the register, it will actually highlight the position on the map. Okay, so I will copy the setting of this worker and paste it over every single one of these. Unfortunately, they are outside the logistics network, and while they are outside, they cannot recharge, so please park yourselves here. Okay, now these robots are being made. What I will do is tell a couple of them, for example, this guy, instead of metals, go for crystals, please. And consider this as your parking space. Right, so copy the settings from this guy and paste it over this one, and yeah, this one. There we go. So now we have the equal amounts of robots doing iron and crystal mining. Great, so this should boost our crystal reserves quite a bit. Technically, we could set up some storages here. You know what? Yeah, I think that would make sense. Storage space. Yeah, here. Please hurry up this one along. And once it is actually built, I will tell these miners to consider this as their drop-off point. So they will not go out into the wild delivering stuff if they are happen to be full. They will drop things off into the storage and that's it. Might as well do the same for the iron mine. So storage space, I guess here should be okay. Maybe it's time to actually upgrade our smelting capabilities, because this one is starting to, well, maybe not, maybe it's the mining that is lacking. Yeah, actually we need to increase the mining. Okay, copy paste the iron miners and I will order 4 more. Sure. Also, I would feel a little bit better if we had, well, maybe 3 more power generators. Okay, so as I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted, I would like to order 1 deconstructor. Just a single one. And what we will do is maybe turn this scout into our deconstructor robot. I think that would be ideal. In fact, can you please drop the small advanced turret? And deconstructor is done. So deconstructor gets slotted into the scout. Can you please deliver to it? There we go. Okay. Now this scout is going to be our deconstructor. I will set its signal to the deconstructor building, so it's going to be a little bit easier to find on the map. And I will also, let me see, what do we... I forgot. Why is this not being... Oh, sorry, not the signal, the visual. There we go. Okay, now it's a bit easier to find. And also, to make it a little bit even easier to find, I will put it into control group 1. So if you need to destroy anything, we can press 1, select it and destroy things. And what we need to destroy is this. And done. Okay. Can you please drop off this solar cell here? Thank you. Okay, did I set up the storages? No. Okay, you store here, you store here, there, there. In case you're wondering, you don't need to go to the register, select it and drag it. If you hover over it, it will say that you can control right click to set up these storages. This one is just a shift right click, right click. The visual and the signal will need to be set up manually, but if you want to set up a drop-off point for buildings or units, control right click will do it. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, so we can use this space for reinforced plate production. I will set up the construction of the buildings. Yeah, leave a space of 3, so 1, 2, 3, that's fine. And these guys, can you please consider this storage as your drop-off point? Paste over the settings. So yeah, all 4 robots consider this as their drop-off points. Yeah, you as well, please. Lovely. And you guys do the same for this storage. So copy, paste, 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 and paste, and paste. Yeah, there we go. All the iron miners consider this as their drop-off points. Lovely. Okay. Well, these are being built. That's fine, but I would like it to be a little bit quicker. So I will prioritize one of them. We will set it up and paste over the settings on the others. And yeah, at this point, we have enough iron ore coming in, but these guys cannot really keep up, so we have a choice to make. But first, let me quickly set up the reinforced plate production. And there we go. This guy, please give us reinforced plates. Infinitely perfect. Copy, paste, and paste. Once this one is delivered, of course. There. Good. Okay, so as I have said, we have a choice to make. We can either build another one of these setups, or we can tell the deconstructor to start dismantling these buildings, and we will replace them with the ones that have the double slots. There, and one more. Okay. So we will go ahead and build these 2 slotted versions. I will prioritize one of them. We don't need to prioritize, that's fine. Okay, and then we will pick up these fabricators and slot them in. Great. Pick it up, put it there. Perfect. So we had 6 before, right? That's 4. Wait, it's in the scout, right? Yeah, okay, the scout. In you go. And might as well fill up the rest. So there and there. And well, since the metal bars only require a single ingredient, we can use these two slots. So basically we will have one for the input and one for the output. For more complex resources, this is not going to work. We will need more resources, but for a single resource recipe, this will be perfect. So yeah, you know what? Let's set up the signals like this. So you will give us metal bars infinitely. Perfect. Great. And I will copy these guys here, here, and here. Lovely. Okay, so basically, once these two are done, we will basically double our metal production. Can somebody please... Well, okay, we have these loose items lying around. Unfortunately, they are not recognized by our delivery robots. To make them discoverable, they will have to be inside buildings, and yeah. Until we set up a robot that will look for these kinds of items and put them into storages, we will have to manually pick them up and store them. Anyways, let's set this one up. And yeah, prioritize the construction of this building. Thank you. Power transference is done. Next we will do the behaviors. Behaviors is what we need to actually turn these places into a lot more advanced form of manufacturing. Anyways, paste over the settings and put in the less 2 fabricators. There we go, paste, and we have doubled our metal bar production. Let me take a look. Items, metal bars. Yeah, because of the amount of iron ore coming in, it's not really represented, but maybe a little bit. Yeah, I wish there was a 30-minute zoom on this graph, but we can only have 30 seconds, 1 hour or 10 hours. Yeah, 30 minutes would be a little bit more ideal, I think. Anyways, yeah, I think, yeah, now we can see that the produced amount of metal bars is doubled. Great. You know what? The constructor bot, can you please pick these guys up? And these, and this one. There we go, okay. Now we have no more loose items lying around. Once they are required somewhere, they will be delivered, that's fine. We could do the same for the metal plates because they only require metal bars. So they are also a 1 ingredient recipe. So we could do the same kind of upgrade for these guys as well. Unfortunately, we cannot overwrite buildings like this. We will have to demolish and rebuild. Not a big deal, but still. I wish we could overwrite buildings. That would be kind of neat. Anyways, this one is done. Thank you. Okay, behaviors is finished. What I will do next is first set up a manufacturing facility. You know what? Let's slot in just one, that's fine. In this facility, we will start making, where is it? Ah, there you are, beacon kits. Infinitely, please. That is what we will need to make, well, beacons. And I believe we have picked up, yeah, we have picked up a behavior controller. That will come in handy a little bit later as well. Just for the time being, should I put the solar cell somewhere? It's fine. So, do we have the beacon kits? Yes, we do. Okay. What I will do is first build a beacon right in the middle of these facilities. Once it is done, yeah, there we go. These beacons come with one of these item transporters. Basically, inside this green zone, when I have it highlighted, inside this green zone, if something needs to move somewhere else inside that green zone, this transporter will take care of it automatically, and that is amazing. Also, research is done, so what I will do is expanded power, nanobots, and then robotics production. Okay. So, as I have said, this transporter will take what is needed somewhere else, put it there, and that is great. What we will need to do next, now that the central square is filled up, I will build two storages, one here and one here. Can we please prioritize them? There we go. Okay. Next, I will set one of these as... Well, technically we only really need one, right? That will speed up the production, I guess. Yeah, you know what? Okay. Change my mind. Demolish this building, please. Thank you. And build one more production facility there. Okay. Then we will tell one of these slots to be iron ore. In fact, not just one, but 4 of them. And the other 4 will be for metal bars. Great. Next, we need to have this behavior controller slotted into this storage facility. So we will pick it up there and move it right where it belongs. There we go. Now, this behavior controller is in an internal component. Basically, as you might have guessed, it's smaller than a small component, so basically it can go into the insides of the unit or the building. This particular building has 2 internal slots, so one of them is being used by the behavior controller. Now, this is where we will do a bit of programming to start. First, well, we need to create a new behavior. Right. What I will call this one the requester. Good, okay. So this requester, I suppose we need to set up 4 parameters for this one. Well, up here, these parameters are, well, I suppose we can call them registers as well. They will store different values or symbols or whatever you want to put in them. Basically, they are acting as signals. So we will use these parameters as different kinds of items that this requester algorithm can request. So you know what? Item 1, copy, okay. This will be item 2, this will be item 3, and this will be item 4. And then we will set up request item commands 4 times. Yeah, like this. And then we will tell each of these to request the corresponding items. So this one will request item 1, this one item 2, item 3, and item 4. After this, well, we don't really need to do this, but you know what, just for the sake of neat programming, we will tell at the end of the script to go back to the start. It's not needed because once it reaches the end, it will restart, but you know, it looks a little bit better this way. Okay, so this is pretty much done. This is extremely basic, but as you might have guessed, there are a lot of functions and commands we can use, but for this particular setup, this is all we need. Okay, apply and close. So in here, we only need to request metal ores. So what we will do is set the first item to request an infinite amount of metal ores. And that's it. We will start the behavior, and as you can see on the map, robots are starting to deliver the metal ores. That's great. But there is one more thing that we can do. We don't want the robots to deliver the metal ores into these facilities. We want the beacon to take care of it for us. So what we can do is isolate these facilities from the wider logistics network, but it will still need to be on some kind of logistics network to work. So thankfully, the logistics network have channels. So what we will do is select the building and right click on the logistics network icon, and here we can set a couple of parameters. For example, we can change the channel. Instead of channel 1, this will be on channel 2, and that's it. Then we will copy the settings from this guy and paste it over every single one of these. That's great, but now they are on channel 2, but these buildings are on channel 1. Well, thankfully we can have more than one channel set up for these guys. So the beacon will be on channel 1 and 2. Same goes for the storage. This one, channel 1 and channel 2. So right now, these guys have used up every single one of the metal ores, and they are storing metal, what's it called? Metal bars or ingots. So once we set the storage to channel 2, the beacon should take care of the transportation inside this particular facility. So channel 2, yeah, there we go. It delivers the metal ores where they are needed. And once it is done with that, oh, right. We also need to tell these facilities to consider this storage as their output. So output or storage register goes there. There we go. Copy this one over to every single one of these, and the tower will pick up the metal bars and put them into storage. And that is pretty much all there is to it. Yeah, now we have a very nice self-contained smelting facility, and the logistics bots only need to interact with the storage, nothing else. They don't need to worry about filling up the smelters themselves. They just need to drop off the iron ore into the storage, and that's it. That is pretty great. So yeah, unfortunately my alarm went off, so this will have to be the end of the episode, but I think we did good progress in the first episode. And we'll pick things up right here in the next one. So yeah, I believe all that is left to say is that thank you for watching. If you liked the video, you can leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe subscribe to the channel if you want. If you would like to support me a little bit more, you can do so by clicking the join button and becoming a channel member, which will give you an early and ad-free access to these videos. Once again, thank you for watching and thank you very much for your support. I will see you in the next one. Thank you and goodbye.